Now this breakfast item, I'll never think of the same way again. When we had our Two Guys Named Chris Comedy All-Star show, one of the comedians named Zach Johnson, very, very funny. And occasionally he would go into the audience. In fact, every show he would go into
He loved it.
He did. And sometimes he would ask the audience members, what's your favorite curse word?
Great opener.
Yeah, and
great conversation starter.
It is. What's your favorite curse word? Don't you think most people say the F word is their favorite curse word?
Yeah, but we got some really creative answers.
In Statesville, okay, in Statesville, our final show, he asked a person, what's your favorite curse word? And the person responded, waffle twat. Waffle twat.
Comedy gold.
That is gold. Waffle twat. So now, whenever I hear the word waffle, I just put in twat. I add twat. I mean, that's if you call somebody a waffle twat, you're really cutting them down, I would say.
Yeah.
That is really bad. The breakfast story today, here's a good one for you. Biggie mentioned this. Denny's is going to add an egg surcharge, just like Waffle House. Is it 50 cents an egg? At Waffle
I didn't
House.
see the price.
At Waffle House, it was 50 cents an egg. And now, or maybe even $1 an egg.
I thought it was a single
I
dollar.
think it's $1. At Waffle House, they said every egg's ordered, we're going to add $1 to it. So if you get a 3-egg omelet, that's $3 extra.
Cracker Barrel's holding the line. I've not heard IHOP make an announcement yet.
Denny's did yesterday,
Right.
but they didn't give the number. They just said we're going to add a surcharge also with eggs. Now McDonald's has said we'll never do that. We will not surcharge our eggs.
Guess what? Joke's on you. They're not real eggs. Have you seen a McMuffin?
I have.
There's no way that's an egg.
You don't think that's a real egg?
Never have.
They do look different.
Never have.
That's a different looking egg.
That's part of the main reason I've never had one.
How do they do that? How do they make that egg? It's so gelatinous or something about it. It doesn't look like a real egg. You're right. Mm-hmm. Do they put a
ring around it?
A ring around it.
They have to.
When they're cooking it to make it perfectly round.
Yeah, they put a ring around that.
You think it's a real egg, don't you, Biggie?
Then what?
The McMuffin.
I know it's a real egg in the McMuffin. I've seen the videos. They have to crack them and cook them.
They do?
Yeah.
They crack them and cook them.
Yeah, it's cooked. I'm not sure about any of the folded egg. I'm assuming that's all comes in,
just
pre-folded.
Pre-cooked.
Yeah. But I think with a McMuffin, I think they have to at least throw the egg down and cook it.
And put the ring around it.
Yeah, they put a ring around it. Yeah.
That's why it looks that weird way. It does look strange. And, of course, does every McMuffin, and by the way, the reason this is coming up is this is the 50th anniversary of the McMuffin. This is the...
next week, right?
Yeah, next week. McDonald's first debuted breakfast in 1975, and the advent of the Egg McMuffin will be celebrated on the golden birthday starting early next month, and through the entire month, they're giving specials on Egg McMuffin.
Hell yeah.
So the initial breakfast menu, was it that? They had the pancakes and sausage? Or was it just the pancake platter?
The breakfast platter is pancake. That's a good breakfast platter.
I loved it. And they had the McMuffin.
Yeah.
And, well, we have an absent friend who would go on and on about the Danish.
Oh, God, you're right.
But
I forgot all about him.
Listen, I miss him, but I don't miss that.
Dave's not here.
If you ever brought up around our friend Dave Aiken, McDonald's breakfast, he would say that steamed Danish was the best thing on their menu.
You ever eat at McDonald's with him for breakfast? I have.
You've eaten that with him?
No, I'm saying you take him there, and he's like, "You got the steamed Danish?" No, and they don't. And
of course, they haven't had it since the 80s.
Some kids staring like, "What's a steamed Danish?"
They would take that over.
Sounds like a sex move.
Cinnamon.
Well, there was apple, and then there was cheese, right?
Cheese. They had cinnamon also.
Well, I think that I can't remember if the cinnamon was part of the apple. Maybe it was cinnamon apple.
Cinnamon apple and cheese. The cheese was good. It was a good.
Oh, apple all day for me.
Oh, you like the apple?
Oh my God!
And they would now since Dave,
they take it out of the cold storage,
yes,
and then steam it right in front of you.
And Dave, tell you about it.
Dave's not here.
They would take, and you'd have the employee would go over
like 3 times, like you're pressing a shirt at a dry cleaner,
and the steam would come up out of it. God! And when you touched it, that was hot. It was hot.
Yeah, they put it on this beautiful styrofoam little plate. Maybe a plastic fork.
Wonder what the years were. I know that wasn't original. Couldn't have been original.
No.
And it's been gone.
But it was early. That to me, those were the early days of McDonald's breakfast.
And it would come in a styrofoam.
I got mine on a plate. We never had anything to go.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
We ate in. McDonald's is fancy.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I don't love the Egg McMuffin, but the sausage McMuffin with egg, top tier sandwich for me.
Really?
Breakfast sandwich.
You like that? Yeah, the sausage.
No Canadian bacon for you?
It doesn't bring the flavor like the sausage does.
Does it? And so it's the exact same sandwich, only it's a sausage.
Sausage, yeah. Much better flavor.
McDonald's sausage is good.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, you love those the
McGriddles?
The
McGriddle,
McGriddles,
yeah.
Forget about it.
Trucker Rich, you're talking about the eggs at McDonald's. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Back when I was in high school, I worked at McDonald's, worked the breakfast shift, and all those eggs are 100% real. We had stacks and stacks and stacks of real eggs. They're all forms. There's a round form for the Egg McMuffins, and then there's a four long tray form for the frickin' folded eggs, and you take and you just crack eggs in them, break them up, and as they cook, you just take the forms off and flip them over, but they were all 100% real eggs.
100% eggs.
I love to hear that. That's good to hear. You're cracking eggs back there.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Trucker Rich. Did you like working at McDonald's? Sounds like you're proud of the company.
Oh, I was. Well, my favorite story from McDonald's, if you have time for it, is I actually got promoted up to biscuit maker when they actually made real biscuits at McDonald's. And it was a Sunday morning. This little old lady, she came in and she goes, "Can I talk to the biscuit maker? These are the best biscuits I've ever had in my life." And they came back and they go, "Hey, lady out here wants to compliment your biscuits." Well, at the time, I had a ponytail that hung about my waist, and I had earrings and tattoos. And I come walking around the corner, and she goes, "You're the biscuit maker?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She goes, "Your biscuits are really good." She just turned and walked out.
She was going to hug your neck.
Yeah.
She was going to.
If you were a little old lady.
She thought you were an 80-year-old woman
Yeah.
back there making the biscuits. Like
I
the
got to
commercial.
know your secret.
Yeah,
It's Ozzy Osbourne. What?
it's death metal. Thank you, Trucker Rich. That's a great story. Thank you. I would,
You know, if you imagine that, because back in the day, a lot of McDonald's employees, like Trucker Rick, were high schoolers, were teenagers. You know, because they had always hired. The pay was decent.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they're cracking every single egg. How many eggs did they waste? Because you got to get it right.
Yeah, you do.
I don't always crack an egg. I'm not very good in the kitchen, but even the pros will occasionally
You
slip
mess
up.
them up. Yeah. And you get. I mean, you can get shell in there.
Right, you can't have that.
And the what he was saying though about the form of it, that makes perfect sense for McDonald's because they all come out looking the exact same.
Yeah.
You know, the McMuffin one is round, the others.
That's
are
their
folded.
thing. You know, McDonald's is consistent.
It'd be fun to go ask to speak to the biscuit maker now.
I know.
Just wait for the silence to fall over the restaurant. Like, here's like the beeping.
Trucker Rick sounds like your worst nightmare in the 80s, Kelly.
I would have done what the old lady did.
Yeah.
Ponytail to the waist, tats, piercings.
I like your biscuits.
Ah, you make good food.
A lady wants to compliment your biscuits. Well, I'll be right there. I would have turned and
She never came back.
I would have run. I would have never gone
No.
back. Of course, Trucker Rich is the exactly what I didn't want to see. And in the commercials, you would see like an 80-year-old woman with flour around her, you know, and just
Patting the dough.
right, gently folding and cracking the eggs back there and making those biscuits.
And whisking.
And the roller, you know,
the rolling pin.
rolling out the dough. Well, now, Biggie, you're going to like this because since National Egg McMuffin Day is next week, McDonald's will offer customers an Egg McMuffin or a Sausage McMuffin for $1 nationwide if you download the app and order through the app.
Oh, see, the app.
Do you have it?
No.
You could get it for $1. That's
All these places are doing this now, and I feel like an old fuddy-duddy complaining because if I am going to go through some, I still just whip through the drive-through. I'm not an app person.
If you do the app,
How are you not an app person?
you could do that. You could. I mean, that saves you money. you know.
Yeah, but it's like you got to pull up and you got to place your order through the app
That's right.
and then pull over to a certain area and check in and all that. I just find when it comes to fast food, which is used loosely now anyways, you know how I feel about it.
You want to be
Not that fast.
not as
It's
fast
never
as it
that
should
fast
be.
anymore. I still like just pulling through and ordering.
Well, now I don't know how they do it at McDonald's, but at Chicken and Pickles, if I order through the app, it gives me the option to either go in and get it right off the table there, or I can eat in, or if I go through the drive-through, when I get up to the window, I just tell the young girl I've ordered through the app, and they say name, and they say, okay, it's ready for you at the window, and you just pull around. It's exactly like you have ordered. You just ordered ahead of time, but it's still going through the window. You might as well just. I mean, it does save you money though, at least in this case. For the first time, McDonald's renowned bagel sandwiches will have expanded availability on menus nationwide. I don't know the bagel sandwich at
No,
McDonald's.
I've never had one.
I didn't know they had those. That's a classic bacon, egg, and cheese or steak, egg, and cheese bagel at McDonald's.
Top tier sandwich is the steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
You've had it.
Yes.
How long has the bagel been there? I didn't know they had
it. Was there for a long time, and then when COVID everyone in COVID streamlined their menu down, the bagels went away, but they did bring it back. You could also get the steak on a biscuit. Their steak is it has a unique taste to it. Yeah. That
well said.
Was great on a bagel.
Right.
Top tier breakfast sandwich though for me.
Top tier. Mount Rushmore of breakfast sandwiches?
Man, if I had to go through breakfast sandwiches, no. You know what my number one is.
Burger King.
Told you this multiple times. It's the croissant
sandwich at Burger King.
It's very specific, though. You cannot eat the croissant. People always come to me, what are you doing? Listen, you can't eat the croissant sandwich right away. You got to take it, you got to smash it down, then let it sit for like 3 to 5 minutes.
So
then you eat it.
So when we carve the Mount Rushmore, we'll smash it down.
A smash down croissant sandwich is key.
All right, so that's your
number one.
Sausage McMuffin.
Yeah, for number 2, yeah, I'd probably have to put the sausage McMuffin. If we're just doing breakfast sandwiches, yeah, I'd put the sausage McMuffin at number 2.
What about like just a chicken biscuit from somewhere or a biscuit from somewhere
overrated?
Else? Oh, I like
what about spicy chicken biscuit?
Still overrated. A good tenderloin biscuit is hard to find, but if you find one, that's top.
So it sounds like your steak bagel.
Yeah, there's a great tenderloin biscuit, but it's local where we are.
I know it. It's delicious.
You got to get a country place to serve you tenderloin.
Yes, right.
They call it old cat head biscuit. I used to.
Don't play up your roots. Nice try.
We get old cat head biscuit down here at the barbecue place. That's what you get. Because you know why? Because the size of
takes
cat
2 hands.
Looks like a cat head. That's how big a biscuit is. God, you get through the tenderloin biscuit, you've had something.
Now I've created a biscuit.
No, I don't eat them now.
I don't eat them now. I haven't had a tenderloin biscuit in years.
You mentioned a chicken biscuit. Now I will tell you one of my favorite. This is also in the Mount Rushmore, but you got to get. It's at a place called Biscuitville. You know them.
I'm familiar.
You get a chicken biscuit, but you got to add scrambled egg and American cheese to it.
That sounds pretty good to me too. You put that on there.
Put that on there.
Eggs?
Chicken with it's got to be scrambled eggs. Scrambled egg, American cheese, Biscuitville biscuit, top tier.
You ever get a skinny biscuit over there?
The hell is that?
Well, it's on the other side of the menu from the Heart Flutter menu. Your Heart Flutter biscuit.
What's happening in this country?
Let's see. Chicken, egg, cheese. What else?
Trump's going to sign an executive order to get rid of those. God, they're not having a skinny biscuit. Maybe you don't know. Any biscuit at Biscuitville can be made into a skinny biscuit. They simply chop it in half. It's half. It's like the
half a biscuit.
Half a biscuit.
Thinness.
And it's the half of the fullness. And so you get less calories, fewer calories in your skinny biscuit, obviously. Because
but it throws off your meat to bread proportion.
It does. There's more meat in there for sure, yeah.
What used to be great, but they quit making them, was the Hardee's like ultimate omelet biscuit.
Oh, you like that?
That was great. Yeah, that had like every meat available wrapped up in it. I mean, it was just, I mean, I know what everyone's thinking. Yeah, it's hard to believe you have heart trouble. And let me say this, you're right.
If you think he has heart trouble, you're right.
You're right. If you're thinking he's going to die at an early age, you're right.
You're right.
But let me tell you, it was some tasty life I had.
Yeah. His team of cardiologists screaming at their speakers right now.
It's worth it. That's right. Well, not only all that, the bagel sandwich, I mean, McDonald's is doing this right. They also announced that they are increasing the amount of locations. They're adding New York and a few others that will have the Krispy Kreme donuts at their McCafe portion of the menu. So Krispy Kreme is teamed up with McDonald's. By the end of the year, they say McDonald's, more than half, will have Krispy Kreme donuts inside of them. I don't know that I've ever seen that inside of McDonald's. That's new.
Don't think I have yet.
That's new, though. You know, it's not one of those steamed danishes, but it is, you know what a Krispy Kreme donut will get you to, of course. So all of that, boy, they're really going all in on this 50th anniversary.
That's a big deal. I'm surprised we're not seeing more.
I know, advertising.
Yeah, more marketing.
It should be, they should say it's the 50th anniversary.
Big deal.
Have the Egg McMuffin, have the sausage McMuffin. How long do you think, I don't know the answer. You say the Egg McMuffin was early, and it's 50 years. How long after did they come out with the sausage McMuffin? That's much more recent, isn't it?
I think so. I think, in our lifetimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the Canadian bacon for Evs.
Yeah. I've never loved the Egg McMuffin. I don't like the texture of the Egg McMuffin. But on one of my many diets, I was told once, if you're getting breakfast at McDonald's, get the Egg McMuffin. You know, the English muffin is not too bad, the Canadian bacon's not too bad, and the egg is good. You know, but sausage would make it have more calories.
Is there cheese on a McMuffin?
I think there is. Yeah, there is. So you could take that
I'm
off.
sure Biggie's down. He's on the phone. He's probably yelling at us right now in his mind.
Because the cheese, to me, if you leave it too long, it tastes like rubbery. You know, unless you get to it immediately on the Egg McMuffin. You know, it's never one that I would go to. Ron, you're talking about great breakfast sandwiches. Go ahead.
Yeah, the McDonald's steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a little bit messy because it's juicy, but it is by far the best breakfast sandwich. It is fabulous.
Really?
That's on Biggie's Mount Rushmore,
yeah.
I think.
That is on the Mount Rushmore. Steak, egg, and cheese. He says that the steak has a perfect taste to go along with that bagel. You concur?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. That's got me wanting it now. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. But you know me and my family, we just go get old cat head biscuit down here.
Stop it.
Down at the local place. You know, that's what we like to do.
You say that around your wife, your daughter, they'll disown you.
I know. I can never say that. A cat head biscuit. One time I said there's more than one way to skin a cat. And they both they said, what? And that's something my father used to say. More than one way to skin a cat. And my wife looked at me and I just dare you. Hung my head and left the room, you know. Cheese on a McMuffin? There is, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, it's great. Yeah, and it's just American cheese. It's
It's laid on the bottom of it or whatever. That's right.